Welcome back to Behind the Box. Today we'll be discussing 3 of our favorite games for 2. So we're going to be excluding from this list any games that are only meant for 2 players. That's another video. So when we made this list, we were considering things like how easy it is to acquire the game, how easy it is to learn the rules, and also how easy it is to teach it to somebody new. So if you've got a parent or a girlfriend or boyfriend that's new to games, it should be quite easy to bring that person in to these games.
Our first game is going to be Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective. So this is a cooperative game where you're basically taking on the role of being students of Sherlock. So the game comes with a bunch of great components like newspapers, a map of London, a directory, and 10 cases that you have to solve. We're not going to show you a lot of them because we don't want to spoil any future information. But just to give you an idea on how the game plays, each case usually starts with a strange murder. So it'll be something that's unexplainable and you'll get given just a bit of information. Maybe the person died at the circus. So you have to look at the map or look in the directory and find out, okay, where's the circus? Let's go there. So you find the code that corresponds to that, go to that in the casebook and read the next snippet of information. So you might find out that there was a witness or a clue left behind, like a branded cigarette holder. So what you can do then is look up that person's name in the directory, visit them, or you could maybe go to the store that sold this clue and then try and figure out more information. You keep doing that until you feel confident that you can solve the case. So you go, you answer all the questions that are in the book, and then you compare your score to Sherlock, basically, and find out how you did. This is an incredible 2-player experience. It is unlike any other game that we have, and it's just a fantastic experience. And it's great for 2 people specifically. There's not really a player count maximum to it, but with 2 people it's really good because you both always have something to do. One person can be reading through the newspapers, one person can be reading the directory or the notes or anything like that. There's just so much to do for 2 people. With 3, it gets a little bit spread out. It's still good.
It still works.
It still works. Everyone still has something to do. With 4 or more, we would not recommend it.
Somebody's always left out.
Yeah, you'll find that there's one person, there's not enough stuff for them to do, and so they usually just sit there, and they're usually the first ones to get bored and want to stop. Now, it's a fantastic game. The negative that I feel that we should mention is that the cases are unique. Once you've solved them, you can't really return to them, but you get 10 of them. So for me, the value is there. It's a great game and definitely worth checking out.
Yeah. Our next game is probably one of our most played games. It's called Love Letter. Love Letter is a card game with a deck of numbered cards. Each number has a different effect. Players start with 1 card each and draw a second at the start of their turn. They play 1 and activate its effect. This continues until either the deck runs out, in which case the player with the highest number wins the round, or until one of your cards knocks out the opponent, again, winning you the round. The winner in a 2-player round is the first person to win 7 rounds. So the reason why we love this so much for 2 players is because you really get a chance to strategize. When you've got more than 2 players, sometimes a player can relax a little bit and let the other players knock each other out before they get back in. But when it's just 2, you really are always trying on the ball, trying to knock the other person out or trying to get that highest card. So that's why we like it for 2. The reason why it's probably one of our most played games is because it's so portable. This is my purse game. It's always in my bag when we go traveling. We've got family that's kind of far away. Mine's in America. And so we're always on a plane or a train. And this is the perfect game for that. You just put down that tiny little tray table and you can have a couple of games right there. And it's perfect.
I think it is actually our most played just 2-player game. Just for that reason alone.
Yeah.
And lastly, we've got Pandemic. Now, Pandemic, if you're not familiar, is another cooperative game where you all play as medics or researchers or scientists trying to cure diseases which are taking over the world and killing everyone. So the aim basically is to hold back these epidemics and these pandemics and find these cures and research them and eventually cure all 4 diseases in the game. This is the cooperative game. This is, I keep calling it the quintessential cooperative game because it is. Everyone needs to play this if you like co-ops. the reason I love it for 2 players, and I will say it's amazing 3 and 4, but when you have 3 or 4 players, you'll take your go. So much changes on the board in the game between your turn and your next turn that it's hard to plan your moves ahead because a lot will change. In a 2-player setup, not only do you get a little bit of an advantage starting off with extra cards, you also have the advantage of, I take my go, you go, only one thing changes and it's my go again, so you can plan ahead what you're going to do. Fantastic game. Now, I understand it is an extremely popular game, so you've probably already played this to death, but if you have, we do have another recommendation, which is kind of like this, just with all the mechanisms, just a step above in difficulty, and that's Spirit Island. One of our new favourite games. Yeah. We'll probably do a more detailed overview of it in a future video, but definitely check it out. It's the sort of, for me, it's the next logical step after pandemic.
Yeah, after pandemic, yeah. So there you have it. Those are just 3 of our favorite games for 2. If you've got other suggestions, games that would be on your list, please leave them in the comments below. Maybe it's something that we can give a shot. Yeah. And also, we are quite active on Instagram, Twitter, so you can probably check us out.
All the links for that will be in the description, as well as more information about these games that we've discussed. So, yeah, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Bye. Okay, are you ready? No. Okay. Welcome.
I said I wasn't ready. I'm ready.
Oh. I don't know. Something about you is so funny there.
It was in my face.
No.